Oh, hi guys, and I have finally done it. I have finally got round to doing my what am I going to be watching for the next anime season. And I want to thank everybody who's kind of tuned in to my current releases. So, this anime season was actually a very, very small anime season to what I'd normally watch. So, I normally watch quite a bit of anime. And sure, I've only done two releases. I essentially want to test the water, see if I can get people who want to listen to my reviews. So, I've been doing a lot more watching in the background. I reviewed two this season. We had two Mappa releases, which is quite weird. I've got another Mappa release down for next season as well. So I promise I'm not just a Mappa girl. My favorite studio, if you really want to know, is Wit Studio. I love Wit. I love Wit to pieces. But I've just been watching a lot of Mappa. So this current season, I was watching 8 anime in total. I've got a screenshot here of the current animes, and I'm also going to plug my anime list here. Please add me if you want. You can see what I'm actually actively watching. We've come to an end of a season. Next week is the end of the season for this season. There'll be a couple of weeks before anime picks back up. I think one of my animes starts the 2nd of October. We've got a bit of time. I have plans to fill that gap quickly. I've got some videos going up. I am currently playing some Don't Starve again. I have played it before. I'm more going to be putting up just chilling out videos of me playing in like kind of chill mode. They're going to be going up. So if you like Don't Starve and you just want to hear me kind of swear at spiders, that is the main thing there. This season, I did my releases on God of High School. I did my releases on Koi to the Producer. I'm very happy I bothered with Koi to Producer because initially I was like, this is probably going to be no one talking about it. And that kind of did me a big favour in getting me kind of some people to kind of start liking and kind of subbing to the page, which helped me. So I think I did a good thing there, and a lot of people were thankful that somebody was at least talking about the anime, because that's what I like. I watch so much anime, I don't get to talk about the anime with people because I don't really have a lot of friends in this area where I live who like anime. There's a lot of normies floating around, to use a term from, Obey Me. A lot of people around me who just don't watch anime, or the people who do, I don't see them enough. It's been fun to be able to discuss it, get it out of my system, and of course I've been talking about a game I play as well, so that was cool. So this season's been a bit of a weird one. The two I released were Mappa releases, and Mappa did a really good job of cutting the hell out of both of them, it seems. So I had the same issue with both animes I was releasing in YouTube form. Was the story was a bit of a mess because of the way they cut the animes. I love God of High School, but I think I even said last episode release, I don't know what was going on because I don't think it was explained well enough, or I feel like what's been cut might have helped me get behind a character better. Same with Koi to Producer, it's been breakneck speed. We've gone through 18 chapters and 12 episodes, which is pretty poor showing because I feel like it could have been handled differently. Let's leave that season behind us and let's march forward to a new season. I want to quickly crown my ultimate Black Horse winner for the last season. As much as I thought it would be going to God of High School, it's not. My winner of the season for best anime, to me, so you are gonna disagree, I know you're gonna disagree, this is my personal favourite, it's a Parry Round Man. I am gonna crown it. I loved it from the start. It got twistier and twistier. The voice acting was great, the visuals are great, loved it. That is where my crown for anime of summer anime winner for me goes. To be fair, I was watching 8 anime, so it wasn't a hard kind of pick. But let's now focus ahead to the fall anime. I am going to be plugging this site. They're not a sponsor, but this is what I always use to see what's coming up my way. Live Chart Me, and if you go to livechart.me, you will be able to find it. You can see all the upcoming animes. You can check out the movies, any OVAs coming out. I've got it on the page for full anime so we can see what was planned. I have noted that Attack on Titan final season is on there, but you can see that they've delayed it. So it's 72 days still to the first episode of that airs. I will be watching the final season, and yes, it's a Mappa. It's another Mappa for me. I don't know if I'll be doing a release because I haven't obviously covered the other 3 seasons. I've got 73 days to maybe do a bit of Attack on Titan content. Really depends on what you guys want to see, and I am going to be leaving one of the picks to you because I've noticed that one of the things I initially wanted to watch, which is To Your Eternity, it's been pushed back. So it's now 2021 release. It's not on the list. So I was initially going to do a release on it. I am no longer doing a release because it's not going to be here. I will release at some point when it comes out, hopefully. So, a few things late minute changed for me. I am watching a total of 10 anime this season. Hopefully 11 if I can get my bumming gear and I can like catch up on Golden Kamuy. So let's get Golden Kamuy out the way quickly. The third season is airing in full. I haven't watched any of it. I don't know if I can, because I've got a very busy schedule coming up, if I can quickly catch up with the first 2 seasons to get myself in position to watch the third. Plus, I might not even like it. So that is my goal to myself. It may or may not happen. I don't know if I'd be releasing on Golden Kamuy anyway, even if I was in position to watch it. That's my initial goal to myself, is to watch Golden Kamuy at some point. I have got 10 titles, essentially. I am going to now tell you the 10 titles, and then we're going to take a little pit stop when I think something is definitely worth talking about, because there's going to be stuff on here that you think is rubbish, but I like my junk as well, so there is some junk on here, but I'm not going to be doing YouTube releases on them. So let's start from the bottom of my list for some reason. I am going to plan to watch... Here it goes, everyone. Breathe in. I'm going to try my best of the translations here. So it's Ochi Kabari Fruit Tart. I plan to watch that. I actually think that was quite decent quite a decent translation there. That's going to be on this season. I'm not doing anything with it. I think it just sounds interesting. I also plan to watch The Journey of Elena. I also will be watching, if I can get hold of it, Burn the Witch. That is a movie. There's a reason why it's in the poster I've been putting out for everything. I will be watching it as a movie, but obviously, with me being in the UK and releases and movies and things, normally I'd go to a cinema. I don't plan on doing that, and I don't think a lot of anime is going through at the moment. I probably won't be mentioning it, but I will do at some point when I get my hands on the actual movie, I will be doing a kind of coverage on it, because it's set in the UK. I'm from the UK. I've been to London. I live an hour from London, so I feel like I want to do it, just because I really regretted not airing in time for like Magician's Bride, because there's a bit where they go to King's Cross Station and I wanted to talk about that. So I do plan to talk about Burn the Witch at some point. It's just not on the list right now. I also plan to watch The Day I Became God, and this is quite a hype anime right now, and the only reason I am not going to be doing a YouTube release is because I think there's going to be a lot of big YouTubers already covering this one. As I don't have much of a following right now, I need to kind of be covering good animes, but also slightly more under the radar animes, just to kind of help get a bit of a following going, because I really want to get into this big time. I want to be able to kind of do a lot more releases, but I'm not monetized right now. I've only got 100 subscribers, so we are at the beginning of my journey, guys. This is the start. So if you want to watch The Day I Became God, I think it's going to be quite a big one. Essentially, it's all about a guy who's... Essentially, he meets a girl who became God, and it's going to be following that. It looks interesting. I've put it down. I know this kind of thing is going to be big with quite a few people. It's not generally my jam. I've put it down there because I didn't want to be watching like less anime than I am. So I've put it down there because it seems to be one to keep an eye on. So I'm going to keep an eye on it and watch it. But I won't be doing a YouTube release on it. So the next 3 titles I mention are the ones that, if you guys give me enough interest, if you tell me you want me to do a release on it, I will pick one. So before I get into the top 3, which are releases and videos, and I'm going to be very excited about them, I hit the issue that 2 of my releases come out on the same day. And it means I'm going to have to either spread one out and do one later, and I think I've got it worked out. But with the kind of releases, it looks like I'm only doing 2-3 days a week, and they're right at the end of the week. And with the 3 I've picked here, I've picked some that I might be able to also do if you guys are interested. Number 1 is, I think everyone's talking about this right now, is Hanyo no Yoshihime Sengoku Ota. My writing on the last word there. Basically, it's the Inuyasha kind of spin-off, the sequel, not quite a sequel, but a spin-off of the Daughters. This I've put on the list. I'm going to watch it because I'm a big Inuyasha fan. I'm initially not putting it down for a YouTube release because I think they're going to butcher it. I know everyone's getting really excited. I just don't think it's going to hold a candle to Inuyasha. But it is the first of the 3 options that you guys can vote for if you want me to do it. So I'm going to give you the next 3 titles. And if you guys say, I'm going to be watching you if you do blah, 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 do this, and I think there's enough cool to do one of the other 3 animes, I will put it on the list to do. But yeah, so we'll keep Inuyasha. Inuyasha's the spin-off. as the first option. The second option is I'm Standing on a Thousand Lives. This one I have seen kind of everywhere. Everyone's talking about I'm Standing on a Thousand Lives. It looks really interesting. I don't fully kind of understand the plot. I think it's one of those where I think it's going to shock people. I think it's going to be one that is definitely worth watching. I'm going to put it on the list for you guys. If I get enough votes, I will talk about I'm Standing on a Thousand Lives. It's just one I've added to the list because I think it sounds interesting. The premise is pretty interesting. I'm going to move quickly ahead now to the third option, which I think I kind of have a feeling if you guys are planning on like kind of voting for anything, it's going to be this one. And it's, here it goes again. So Jujutsu Kaisen, I think is going to get the vote with you guys if people are going to vote, if that's the case. If it does get the vote and it does become my fourth release, I can do it. The release date for this one is Friday the 2nd of October, so it will be one of the first ones to go up if I was to do it. To give you dates as well for the last three I mentioned, the Inuyasha spin-off is coming out on a Wednesday. I think that's Wednesday the 3rd. And then I'm Standing on a Thousand Lives is also Tuesday the 2nd. Hence, I can't pick both. I need to pick one or the other. But it comes down to whether you guys think you will be interested in having a rundown for it. Jujutsu Kaisen, let's quickly have a little briefly talk about it. No, there we go. So I always get really confused when animes already have a score on Mal and they're not out yet. It really bothers me. Although it does say that the first episode's already been streamed in advance, so that's probably why. Which is probably also why I'm seeing hype for it everywhere. So it's essentially demons feeding on the humans. Humans versus the demons, the end of the world is in balance kind of thing. A bit of magic involved. One of those where I think it's going to go down as being an interesting one to follow. I've put it on there because it sounds like an interesting premise. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I mean, I've just finished watching The Bureau of Muho, or I can never even say his name, last season. So I have a thing for, I like watching demons and occult and supernatural anime. So I think it's going to be up my path there. Those are the 3 animes that you guys can pester me into watching, essentially. So you have the power. If I get enough people pestering for one of the 3, I will decide that it's worth making a YouTube release on those 3. Right, let's go into the 3 that I plan on actually releasing on because I'm very excited. First things first, let's talk about the slow runner. I wasn't initially gonna do it because I initially had To Your Eternity down instead, but this is the one that I've bumped back up, so it was in 4th place initially when I considered it. This is Ikebukuro Westgate Park. I don't know why I'm really excited to watch this one. It just looks really cool. The art looks quite gritty. I'm very interested to see this. It's all about kind of gangs. It's about crime, violence, kind of living in that area of kind of the Gate Park, I guess. It just looks interesting. I don't know why I was drawn to it. It looked interesting art-wise. So that one's down for a release. However, I'm going to note that it is due to air October the 6th on a Tuesday. It clashes with the next anime I'm about to mention. What I will probably be doing, I will probably do either a late release on the Tuesday. So I think, hopefully, depending on where it goes, you will probably see this one out Wednesday or late Wednesday at the most. I plan to have the 2 animes I'm about to mention out over the Tuesday and Wednesday. So basically, as soon as they air, I'm going to be on it trying to get a video together. So that is the first one. I will put up the page on the Mal page for you guys just to check out yourselves. I probably didn't. There's not a lot of a synopsis down. I think I initially read it on the live chart that it had a bit more of an interesting synopsis. The next one, which I think everyone's going to be talking about, but I need to get in because I've watched the original, kind of release it for this is Noblesse, and I know everybody's talking about Noblesse right now. I have covered God of High School. I wish I'd covered Tower of God. It's another manhwa, and I'm really liking these. Can I just check who my studio for this one is? Please let me Mappa. Please let me Mappa. It's not. Fantastic. I worry that I'm doing a lot of Mappa releases, and you guys can be like, you're just a Mappa fangirl. I'm not. It's just a lot of the stuff I'm watching right now is covered by Mappa. I watched Noblesse Awakening. I'm going to put the quick link to Noblesse Awakening here. It is a prequel. So I have essentially seen the prequel to it. I think I would actually recommend you guys check out the prequel first anyway. I think it's a movie, if I can remember quite right. It's not. It's just like episode 0. It's 30 minutes long, so it's a little bit extra. I definitely recommend you guys check out Noblesse Awakening before the 6th of October. Noblesse is a title I'm very excited to see them kind of build on. So The Awakening will give you the backstory to having our two main characters, so they know each other from the past kind of thing. It covers the past. And then Noblesse, which is going to be airing this season, is going to cover them after Azael kind of wakes up 820 years into the kind of his slumber into the present. So we're talking vampires, we're talking things like Frankenstein. So we've got a bit of the occult going on, but we've also got like a high school. We've kind of got a modern day setting, which I'm really excited to see. That one is definitely on my list. And the last one, which is going to be one I'm hoping that my Koi to Producer fans kind of jump across with me to this. This is the one I'm pumping for. If you like my Koi to Producer, or you like something a little bit darker, a little bit grittier, come and join me with Moriarty the Patriot. This is the one I'm very excited to release. This is the one I saw it announced and I jumped on it immediately. This will be released on the 11th. It's going to be coming out on a Sunday, so that's good for me because I don't tend to work Sundays, so I can give it a lot of attention and love. This is going to be giving us the story of Sherlock Holmes, but from the villain's point of view, or the anti-hero. So you might already know the name James Moriarty, and he is basically Sherlock's counterpart. I believe Sherlock is in this. I think I've seen from the images that Sherlock is in this. It's set in London, 19th century London, so I can't wait to get my hands on a historical anime. What you guys may or may not know about me is I have a history degree. I adore history, and most of the time if I'm not watching anime or anything, I am doing history stuff. I'm watching history documentaries, going to places. Well, pre-COVID I was going to places to study, and I was even going to places just to kind of get the history lowdown on it. I am so excited to see this. I think it's going to be a fun one. It looks charming. The artwork looks charming. He's going to be the kind of guy you kind of get to like as a anti-hero, but if you know the stories of Moriarty and you know the stories of Sherlock Holmes, where the original Arthur Conan Doyle stuff, I think it's going to be gritty. I think it's going to be a very interesting to see how they tell a story from a villain's point of view, and whether we can kind of back him a little bit, because he is still a criminal, and I want to know how they kind of get over that. So I'm very excited to announce my watch list of you guys. Hopefully you guys are planning to join me on at least one of them. Please join me on one of them, guys. I have so much fun talking about it, so it's going to be really sad if it kind of nosedives. And I am hoping it's not just because I picked really good animes last season. I feel very strongly that the 3 I've picked this season are going to be very interesting. Please join me for the Ikebukuro Westgate Park, join me for Noblesse, or join me for Moriarty. The schedule I will probably update you guys on probably before it kind of kicks off, or you're going to see it kind of kick off, because I've given you the dates. Bear in mind, if I get enough interest in one of the other 3 that I have mentioned, I will be persuaded to do a release on them. You need to be acting quite quickly, because I think Jujutsu Kaisen starts on the 2nd, so you need to be getting yourselves kind of on this video now, kind of letting me know that there is an interest for it. It is still quite a quiet year for anime. I'm only watching 10 anime this next season. That's low for me. But yes, I can't wait to get airing, dig my teeth into it and get down into the breakdowns. If you've been following my style, I like talking about symbolism. I like to talk about colours. I like to talk about the way things are actually, the composition of a scene as well, what makes a good scene. So I'm very excited to do this. Hopefully you guys are doing very well. It's great to see you guys not on a Monday or a kind of Tuesday, Wednesday kind of thing. So I'm very happy to do a standalone video, and hopefully you guys are as excited for fall as I am. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.